Morning, crafty friends. This is a video request for Kristen specifically, but if this helps anybody, you're welcome to watch and get some information. Basically, I was asked a question via email, and it would be faster for me to do a video and probably easier to understand. Just a few things that I was asked. So a new friend of mine who joined one of my swaps, she messaged me and she said that, you know, normally currently she just has the Big Shot, but now watching like our videos, she has really been interested in possibly getting a die cutting machine, and she asked the differences between the Brothers Scan and Cut and a Cricut and a Cameo. So I understand how that can be confusing, especially for someone new. And fortunately, I've kind of tried out all those machines, and I'll tell you what I ended up with. So just long story short, I ended up with this, and I will tell you how: the Cricut Explorer Air, and also the only other, I never thought I'd have two machines at one time, but I also have the Brothers Scan and Cut. Brothers Scan and Cut 2. So I will tell you the differences, and this is solely my opinion, but I have had all machines to try them out, and I'm a person that really uses mine, so it's somewhat, you know, of an educated answer, but, you know, again, everybody has their own opinions. So just a little background story as far as Cricut goes. I have had just about every Cricut. And there were some that I really loved, there were some that I fell in love with, and then there were some that to me were duds. And I'll get into that really quickly. So my very first Cricut I got, and it's been about 10 years now, because I got it when I was pregnant with Maya, and she'll be 10 this November. So I loved it. It was called, they call it, you know, it's nicknamed the Baby Bug, and it only did a 6x12 cutting area, so that'll tell you how old that is. And then when they came out with the Cricut Expression, it had a lot of, you know, a few more features, and then it also cut on a 12x12 area instead of the 6x12. So at first I thought, why would I need that? But then I quickly grew to see, because, you know, if I make, like, for birthday parties, I made like a giant Ariel and a Sebastian, and especially with some of those detailed cuts, they're easier to cut out when they're bigger. So I've quickly fell in love with that one, and I'd have to say, even still, I kind of missed that one. I had the anniversary edition. It was like a purple one. My husband and I waited in line one year on Black Friday to get this deal. I think it was $1.99, and that was good at the time, or maybe it was $99. I'm not sure what it was, but him and I waited outside in the cold, and it was kind of more of an experience, and we haven't done that again since then, because we thought a lot of years when we went to go get something for Black Friday, we'd wait in that line, and then later when, you know, the crowds calmed down and we went back out, those items were still there. You didn't have to wait outside, but just the thought that they could be sold out and there's limited quantities, I guess, gets people. So anyway, I digress. So back to this. So then I had the Cricut Expression, and I love that one. I used it all the time. And then the E2 came out. The E2 was like a to me, like a I don't know why. It had a little screen on it instead, you know, the thing, and I just didn't really, it didn't really benefit me. I found it more annoying. It was like going backwards as far as technology for me. Like, they made everything confusing, and they kind of did it with this one too, but I'm figuring it out. So I didn't like that one. I think I sold that one. And what also was great is the Cricut Imagine came out, and that was also a dud in my eyes. And luckily for those two machines, I purchased them from HSN, and you had like a time frame whether you decide to keep them or not. And I shipped both of them back, because I'm kind of like an experienced user, so it's not that I didn't know how to use them. It was just that I didn't care for the way you had to use them. And as far as the Imagine, that was like a printer end cut, and I felt like it wasn't really crafting. It was almost like printing a sticker, and you can get dimension if you did some layers, but it just used a lot of ink. Then they stopped carrying the ink, and then there was some customer service issues. And I love Cricut, and there was a time where it seemed like they were being greedy, and even with the cartridge linking, and then nobody can use it. So if you have a friend over and wanted to use your you know, it was kind of like they did get greedy. But I guess as a business, you have to have some type of copyrights or ways that people can't just share their cartridges. I don't know. But that's a whole nother story. So then, when I had my Cricut Expression, I that one finally was starting to not work right, and it was, you know, I was getting more into my machine, even more into my machine, and then it was kind of, so my husband knew about it, and he surprised me with this for my for Mother's Day this past year, when my Cricut was not working. So my expression. So the Cricut Explorer Air is computer based. So you know, I'm getting better with computers, but I'm not loving them. Like, it's just like, I wish I could use this without. So that to me is a downfall. You'll see this little cartridge space in here, but that's simply to link your cartridges, then you don't need them after that. So they're kind of like a waste of space, and you have to store them, and you know, Cricut kind of threatens like, don't get rid of them because, you know, that like default your warranty or whatever the word is. It doesn't, you know, it discontinues your warranty, or I don't know, they say you got to have it just in case it goes off, you know, your digital, you know, library, I guess. So that I missed. So you have to have the internet to use this. So in case of like a storm or something, for whatever reason, if your internet wasn't working, that would be where that would be a problem. I do miss that about the expression. I really do. I kind of miss just being able to throw my cartridge in, and I was a handbook girl. I like to read my handbook and see my layers. It was very helpful to me, and just kind of work at my own pace, instead of have to like digitally move everything and get everything ready on my mat. And I liked about the expression, it would put it where you'd want to put it. But with all that being said, this is a great machine. I've had also the Cameo. So at Cameo, I ended up listing that for sale on my Crafty D-Stash website, and I did end up selling that one. It's a great machine, so if you decide to get that one, or if that one, you come across some deal with that one, it wouldn't be something that I would never, well, I probably wouldn't get it again, but I didn't hate it. But the reason I got this is because, one, I like Cricut. I tend to like the whimsical images, and you know, it just seems like they had a lot more, although I don't really buy that much from at all really from their digital store. But I like now that you can get individual images if you want, instead of buying a whole cartridge. But I also like with this, you can get outside SVGs like Miss Kate's Cuttables. I love My Scrap Chick. There's different ones that you can purchase SVGs and bring them to this machine and cut them, you know, through your computer. But you can do the same thing with the Cameo. But what I liked best about this Cricut is that to me, it seems like it cuts like butter. It seems like it cuts so much better than the Cameo. I mean, the Cameo was nice. The Cameo cut better than the original Cricuts, but this by far, I've had both machines to try, and I ended up doing away with my Cameo, and I got the Cricut Explorer Air. But you do not have to get the Cricut Explorer Air. I'll explain the difference. So Cricut Explorer has a few versions. Cricut Explorer has Cricut Explorer 1, and I'll open this to kind of show you. Maybe that would help. See how there's two little blade holders? There's either the pen holder or the blade holder. The Cricut Explorer 1 is a little bit cheaper because it only has the one choice, so you could do the blade, but this one you could do the pen and the blade at the same time. So I don't really ever use the pen, so if I found a better deal, I would probably get the Cricut Explorer 1. But what I do like about this one, and this isn't even a necessity, is because it's Cricut Explorer Air, you don't need the plug from the back or an air card or whatever. They sell something to make it Bluetooth. It's like a plug-in thing, I think. But this one doesn't need that. It's already built in, so it picks up my computer. No matter where it is in my craft room, it'll send whatever I'm cutting right to it without it being close to, I mean, we're all in the same room, but I have not had any connectivity issues, and I don't have to sit there and plug it and keep my computer, because my desk usually gets messy around here, so I would be annoyed if I had to keep clearing the space to put my laptop and, you know, close enough to it that the cord reached. So so that is a benefit for me. I'm glad my husband got me this one, but it's not, again, it's not a necessity. So if that saves you a little bit, you're usually around